Hello and welcome to today's episode of Ferocity the Skaldi. This is our finale, unless they somehow manage to earn a bonus episode. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm your Dungeon Master and host, Zuloth. I run a bunch of games here on this channel, and every Tuesday we do a Taco Tuesdays. We'll have some announcements about that on a later stream this upcoming Tuesday, because some changes are going to be made about the frequency and content for Taco Tuesdays. Just to get started here, this game is a prologue game for the Val'Ghast setting. It is one of 5 3-part prologues. So that is this is the second one. So the next one that is coming up is a break in tradition, and that is scheduled for May. The first episode of that is May 13th. So mark that on your calendar, and then it's every 2 weeks after that. And I believe it'll be Fridays at 7 p.m. US East. Also, this weekend, we have Heresy and Damnation coming up on the 20th. That's tomorrow at 7 p.m. US East. So if you've been following that or want to jump in, that's the time to do that. And the next episode of Lost in Theros is on the 30th. Now, I'm taking a break during the month of April, so I won't be running any tabletop games other than my game for the Girl Scouts in April. But you guys are welcome to come by for Taco Tuesday and the additional day that I'll be streaming on Thursdays in April. So without much else to do here with schedule, let's go ahead and introduce our players. So let's start with the top of the order here. Tao, go ahead, Tao.
Hi, I'm Tao. I'm playing Keenan today. And I'm worried about the Skaldi because they're scary.
Well, big lizard folk are scary. Who'd have thought?
You made the standard.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad. All right, back to mute. Gash, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Right, I'm Gash, and today I will be playing the half of Rogue. Hopefully, we're able to salvage the negotiations after somebody tried to arrest Lizard. Do whatever.
Yeah, that happened in the last episode. Anyway, yeah, we'll see what happens. So moving along, back to mute for you, and Raven, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Raven. I'm playing Adeline, and yeah, I'm going to tag along. Hopefully not to get killed.
We live in hope. All right. Next up, we have Gavi. Go ahead, Gavi.
Hi, I'm Gavi. I'm playing Verica in this episode, and I am responsible for Kara, because I'm going to remember how to say her name this time.
Kara Doulahan. Your very own NPC buddy.
Yay!
Yay! She is low hit points compared to you, so...
Okay. Noted.
Noted. Oh. And... last but not least, we have Tibbo. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Tibbo.
Hi, I'm Tibbo. I'm playing Hideki. And I didn't try to arrest the lizard, I just tried to keep him restrained until he calmed it down.
Potato, potato. Alright, last we left off, you guys were being escorted to the Skaldi's village. Any questions before we get into the game here?
I need to know, whenever we get there, how long did it take, for the sake of if I know if my little lizard companion would have disappeared or not.
Well, it would have taken a couple of hours to get there.
I believe if it's for more than 3 hours, he should be gone. I would double check that.
Okay. Any other questions before we get started?
I don't think so.
Not
Yep.
for me.
Yep. It's 3 hours. If it's more, then I lost it.
I just
Womp
rolled
womp.
for it. It's you guys due to the terrain and the fact that none of you are Skaldi and not used to the terrain. It would take you 6 hours to get to their village.
Oof. Great march.
So let's go ahead and activate their village. And so this is the scene that lays before you, and I will go ahead and give you a little bit more information. Okay, what was that? Alright, not sure what that was. Okay. You arrive in the village under guard. The Skaldi keeps a watchful eye as they deposit you in what may be their equivalent of a square, a marshy and muddy patch of land in the middle of this village surrounded by water. There are a dozen or so huts and holes in trees and small caves visible from this position. From each Skaldi of all shapes, sizes, and colors are standing about and staring at you. Some have snarls curled upon their lips, and others are merely curious. The buildings, what few there are constructed of hides, bones, and branches. An icy wind would cut straight through those structures. There is a slight smell of roasting meat and fish coming from somewhere, though none of the buildings are belching smoke. The fire nearby in the center of the village, whereabouts you are all stored, doesn't have any of those things cooking upon it. It seems, though, as you all are left here for the moment, that the Skaldi villagers at large seem to want nothing to do with you all, or keeping their distance out of fear. It seems largely that those that are willing to speak with you fit into two extremes, curious or aggressive. And this is just from passive insights. After the brief but interesting introduction to the village, you are left alone for a few minutes. What would you like to do?
So there's no kind of buildings like tents or...
There are some tents and little huts. If you zoom in, you can see that those little square
they're really
structures
small.
are tents.
Oh, this place is bigger than I thought. I mean, oh, yeah.
This place is huge.
Yeah, I didn't even see those. Those are really small.
And that's just
Okay.
the zoom level you're at.
Were we left alone in the square, or were we left alone, like, in a tent?
You were left alone
Are we just
here,
exposed?
and you're fully exposed, and the various Skaldi that are kind of hanging around their little hidey holes and tents can all see you, and they're all kind of staring.
I think it might be the best idea to not try anything. Quite literally in their home turf.
Interesting. Huh. Okay. Is there between the aggressives and curious ones like a common denominator? Like, is a single clan the curious ones, or the aggressive ones?
Are you trying to divide them up by clan and or type?
Yeah, not clan. The types we read about.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me. No. As you're aware from the prior combat in the prior episode, all three types of Skaldi are capable of combat, so it doesn't seem like any of them are, based on type, more curious and less aggressive than others.
Can I do the clan check then?
Sure, go ahead.
Because I know that we weren't quite sure based on notes if it was clan based and if there's any sort of like similarities and to Keenan's point of like who might be the more aggressive and who might be the more curious.
Okay, go ahead and make
or if it's random.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception test for that. See if you can pick out differences between the ones that are aggressive and the ones that are merely curious.
Sorry, you said perception?
Yes.
Okay. Hey.
So from a clan perspective, they're all in the same clan. All of them have the near black paint in various different sort of markings on them. And
so the Shadow Claw Confederacy is the clan?
Yes.
Okay.
It has replaced the idea of clans here in this village, as far as you can tell. With your 19, I will say that it seems that the more experienced warriors are the ones that are aggressive, and the younger, maybe children, or the ones that are more like along the lines of a shopkeeper or something, like a craftsman, are between curious and indifferent.
Would it be visible at who the Skaldi are looking at the most?
Yeah, you can go ahead and make a perception check for that. Oh, natural 20.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So as the your guardians, we'll call them, leave you, you keep an eye a little bit on the Viper, who crosses one of the bridges and heads toward a tent and a small little gathering of other Vipers, perhaps their family, and they start, making some gestures and saying something to those other Skaldi, and that seems to draw the attention to Hideki. About 4 or 5 Vipers are looking at Hideki pretty hard-faced, and then a Saurian comes by and talks to the one that returned, and nods and goes back to where he was, and starts spreading it around. And it starts to look like that information is spreading around, and while not all of the ones that are giving hard looks seem to be aware of that yet, the ones that are giving hard looks, that are aware, are giving harder looks at Hideki.
Well, I guess most people would do the same if somebody just came into nearby their village and just ambushed one of their own. How long do you reckon we are going to end up waiting here?
Who knows? We are at their mercy, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, them making us wait longer is not necessarily a bad thing. We now have time to discuss on how to proceed. Plus, it's been 6 hours. Let me look at the sky. Roughly 6 hours? 5.5. It was a really long trip. My feet are hurting. Ugh. So, does anybody have any openers for them. It would be disorganized if we kept switching between who should talk with them, or at least be the front man person.
Regardless, we'll need somebody to translate. So
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't seem to be a problem.
you can do that again.
I do need a little bit of a short rest before I do that, but yeah, sure, I can. Lady Veraka, would you... do you want to continue being the face?
I mean, and I'll look around at our group of people.
No, man. That's not the time to be shy. I know what you can do when things get bad. Speak up.
I'll give it a try. Wouldn't be too confident on my dominance of the language, but I'll see what I'll be able to do.
The language is not important. The important is the mission, and which I know we can accomplish. We just need to show them that we are great allies. We don't want to hurt them, and the threat to the demons hurt both of us. Keep that in mind. Lay no traps for them in the social encounter, and I'm sure we can at least arrive somewhere where we can start working things out.
Right.
Let's not, however, draw any aggressions towards us. That would be unwise.
Adeline, as this talk is going, she speaks up for a moment towards the party. I can translate too if you want.
Oh, darling, do you wish to do so?
If it's needed, I don't have to wait to do it.
Mm-hmm. Now, as a matter of fact, a little bit of an overlook over my part. How many of us don't speak the language, actually?
I mean, I definitely don't.
I think none of us can speak it perfectly, but at least I got some of it.
I can speak it very well.
Sorry, somebody just called and I had to step out. Is there anybody here that doesn't speak the language?
It was Veracasa who said she could not.
Oh. Well. If I'm not the one translating, I will at least make sure that you are on top of anything that happens.
Right.
DM, did we when we were left alone, did we see our escorts like going into a particular tent or anything? Like, did it seem like they were getting any sort of like clan leaders or chieftains, or did they just peace?
So the Viper went over this way to go, and that's not to scale. They went over this way to find and talk to some family members, and then the Aquatic kind of went into the water and crossed over to this way, and the Saurian went this way and started talking to some people over here. So it looks like they kind of just left you there, but you all are under watch by almost the whole village.
So, is there a way we can look to see who would be the person to talk to in this scenario?
Based on the information you have from before, you're looking for the biggest, toughest Skaldi. They would be the de facto clan leader.
Can I do that?
Go ahead, make a perception test.
Great. Nope.
Yeah, they're all huge. They're all absolutely huge, considering, and you're having a hard time figuring out which one is the biggest. And that's kind of, and they're also a rainbow of color, right? So a variety. So Skaldi come in a variety of sizes and colors. They're not all like green lizard men, for example. Some of them, mostly the children, have like a bronze sheen or sort of like a metallic sheen to their scales, or like an iridescent quality to it. But the larger and more adult ones come into color around adulthood. And so you have, like Skaldi that have a variety of like purples and blues, or greens and blacks, or reds and yellows and oranges. So there is a variety of color going on here, and it's just an interesting display of diversity among this race of people, and that's very distracting. Because each time you look at one, you're like, maybe that one's the biggest. You're like, oh, that pattern is different. Well, what's going on with all those, colors and striations and sort of gradients of color change going on there? So,
is there any way you would kindly let me remind the party about that particular factoid, and maybe let Kara know?
Sure.
That maybe we should be looking for the largest of the Skaldi.
Sure, yeah, you can remind the party of that.
Great.
And Kara will make a perception test.
Did we see where that big one when the one that Hideki thought was a tree?
The one that Hideki thought was a tree went this way.
Right.
And that was the Saurian, right?
Yes.
All right. So, and the Saurian was kind of the larger, right?
Yes.
So maybe we also need to move towards that direction, depending on what you guys all find.
Moving might be a little bit. Moving might be a little bit. Let's say bad. They left us here does not mean that we are free to move around.
Hideki, you can't seem to figure out which one is the biggest, based on your check there. Kara kind of is looking around as well, and she, with the information that Val'Ghast passes her, she rolled a... Okay. She goes off to the side a little bit, and she rolled a natural 20. And she points out that the Skaldi that had escorted you is coming out of a hole near these trees over here, followed by a absolutely huge Skaldi with brilliant red scales and purple sails, wielding a halberd, and a smaller, more frail-looking Skaldi. To give a quality description, it's one of the largest that you've ever seen. That red one is a titan in his own right, kind of wrapped in the bright red scales with the large purple sails. His claws are as easily as long as a man's forearm. This creature could probably toss any one of you about like a plaything, like you're some kind of doll. The other, a slithering, slender creature wrapped in filthy cloth that reminds you of acid. It's sort of like an acid yellow-green, leaning heavily on a staff and shaking slightly as if it's cold. These two start to approach, and they begin to cross the bridge. They arrive in front of you with the Saurian that escorted you. The aquatic returns from his swim, and the Viper also returns from talking to his family. He comes around the fire pit and approaches what appears to be the clan leader. Most of you understand Skaldi, and so you are on some level, so you get a basic report of what happened. It's basically bullet points from the Viper. The humans arrived. They spoke with the small human female, and then they approached the island where the group was camped. One of them attacked him. They fought back, and then monsters showed up, and combat occurred. The humans helped kill the monsters and didn't make any more aggressive moves at them, and then said stuff about diplomacy. You get the idea that the Skaldi's not really sure what that word means, and then they decided to lead you here. And then it is up to the clan chieftain to decide what to do with you.
For a point of clarification,
Sure.
I don't recall, unless we're just saying attacking is the grapple for the manacles, but other than that, I don't recall actually damaging any of the Skaldi.
That's what he's saying. So he may be considering your grapple an attack on his person and a infringement of his personal rights.
I mean, I'm pretty sure even in real life, putting someone into a chokehold is considered attacking them.
I didn't put him in a chokehold, homie.
Semantics. Keenan observing on them starting to make their way, he would go to where Hideki is concentrating, meditating, and he would like give him a light tap on the shoulder. Hideki, my great companion. It seems the negotiations are about to start. Raises a hand to like lift you up from the ground.
Hideki will follow him.
Keenan lets a little whisper next to your ear. Is the situation with the Skaldi seems to be pretty similar to what your people faced. Your witness recounts might be crucial here, so if you can think of something to say, that will help greatly. He gives you a tap on the shoulder and like goes back into the main place where everybody is to meet the chieftain.
As the chieftain is walking over the bridge, Adelaine quickly casts a minor illusion to make a illusion of a tail behind her so she can start translating. If that is pleased.
Sure, yeah, you can do that.
Alright.
Verica is going to focus on Kara and making sure that without any sort of aggressive action, she's just keeping a very close eye out, having not been able to hear anything. She's just gauging body language and following accordingly and keeping Kara behind her.
Okay. So hold on a second. I'm gonna preload something so you guys have a more of a idea of what you're looking at. Maybe this here. Okay. And activate. So this one is the chieftain, this one here. This one is the old one, and then we have the Viper, the Saurian, and the Aquatic. So who would like to approach first? You guys can hear me, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tap on the shoulder of both my companions, Adeline and Norman. It's like, it's time to shine.
Right.
Don't worry. I trust both of you, and I'll be right behind. Just show these people the trust that I have in you.
Adeline looks at him for a moment at Veracasa. Still seeing as she is, saying the leader of the group. It's more like a come on, you should talk. I translate. That kind of look.
All right.
So Verica will stick with Keenan, still letting Norman start since it was discussed, and then will stay close by to support if it needs to come up, and Kara will be behind her. So we'll still have the Knights of Cruinthe part of these negotiations.
Sure. Okay, go ahead and arrange yourselves how you want to be.
Do I have ability to move Kara?
No, you do not. Where do you want her?
All right. Put her to the right of me. Yeah.
By the way, from what the other Skaldi were talking, how do they refer to their chieftain?
They haven't yet.
Have we been here long enough to be a short rest?
I'd say sure, yeah.
Whoosh. Let's go, short rest.
Did you want to do anything because of the short rest?
It was more like we might start combat, so who knows what happens. So I took some, I get some stuff back. What? Well, you know what? Here, let me cast a spell on you. I'm starting to running out of spells, so let's make this count. Keenan would go and like give you a pat on the back, and get yourself some Eagle Explender, Norman.
Right. Right, and Norman would walk up to the who apparently is the chieftain, while still leaving distance between them, and then speaking what is kind of broken Skaldi. What time of day would it be? And that's out of character.
No, we have a translator.
I'm also able to speak.
No, but she has like the tail.
It's his decision whether or not he wants to speak in Skaldi or not.
Yeah, it is. I just reminding him of the translator.
What time of day would it be? I'm saying this out of character.
Sorry, what?
What time of day would it be?
It's past noon, getting on in hours.
Right. Right. Normal would say to Achisam, "Good afternoon, sir. Is it fair to assume that you're the one that is leading this clan of Skaldi, or how you may refer it to us?"
It kind of rears its head back a little bit, sort of mimicking the way that a cobra would rear its head back before making a strike, sort of perhaps in surprise. And then it kind of tilts its head a little bit and says, in perfect Cruic, "Who are you to be speaking to me?"
And since he's speaking in perfect Corinth, I'm gonna switch back. Corinth. Well, me and my companions here have been set on a diplomatic mission to, well, you. There's extremely dangerous menace that's creeping up from the south. As your soldiers have seen when encountering us, those monsters are arriving en masse. The kingdom doesn't think they can take them on their own, and we've been sent here to ask you kindly for your help in the problem. I think it may be the best interest of both of us if we united on this battle instead of waiting for them to pick us off one at a time.
Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion check. 21. Okay. After you're done speaking, the older one kind of leans up, taps the big red Saurian, the leader, on the shoulder, and he leans down to listen. And he whispers something in his ear. The eye on the left side of his head is watching you, Norman, as he does so. And he finishes and he stands more upright, kind of leaning less on his staff. And the large Skaldi introduces himself first. He says, "I am Chief Ansarak, leader of the Shadowclaw Confederacy here. What kind of authority do you have to speak on behalf of the kingdom?"
Who has the letter of authority?
I
Let's
believe I do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I think Veraska had it. Never mind.
Oh, okay. I will step forward next to Norman.
Mm-hmm.
And I will pull out the letter of authority. Is there any sort of signs of respect that the Skaldi do in presence of the chieftain that we can mimic? Is there any sort of bow or have we seen anything?
Not that you've noticed.
Okay, so then I'll do what is respectful for the kingdom, which I am going to assume is any sort of bow kind of thing. And I will pull out the letter of authority, and I will say to him, we are Knights of Cruinthe and representatives. The letter attached details the kingdom's wishes. And then I'll pass it, so he has the physical copy.
Okay. Elder Infarak intercepts it and looks at it over. And then he passes it to the chieftain, who kind of like brings it up to eye level with one hand. And while he's reading it, the elder here says, "And which one of you is Princess Melissa Justea?"
We are knights representing Melissa Justea.
Mm. He turns and he whispers to the chieftain again. The chieftain kind of passes the piece of paper back to Elder Infarak, who holds it for a moment. And the chieftain says, "So you come here bearing a piece of paper and pass it to me, saying that you have the authority to entreat and engage in diplomacy on behalf of your nation. How do I know this isn't just another lie that your people make? How do I know that this isn't just some ruse that your people make to slaughter more of my people?"
How... I have a question
Sure.
for out of character.
Sure.
How aware are the people of Onsai about the Skaldi and vice versa? Like, do the Skaldi know that the people of Onsai are not Cruinthians and, you know, back and forth? Like, we're humans, right? But we're different?
I'm not sure if you would be aware of how the Skaldi view the Ansai. I don't think you would. However, since as far as the Ansai are concerned, the Skaldi are monsters and haven't had any sort of indication that they are not from their limited experience here in Cruinthe. So as far as you're aware, this is like having a conversation with a bunch of hydras. You know?
Gotcha. Okay.
It is a difficult situation for Hideki to kind of be like, oh, this is like, what's happening here, I guess would be the best way to describe it, is Hideki is coming to see that his suppositions about this race of creatures is totally different than what he thought, right? They are speaking in a language that he can understand. They seem to have some kind of rudimentary culture, or also, you know, a village and sort of some kind of governmental structure, because a confederacy is a government of, you know, smaller bodies. And so, you know, based on what was given before, the studies about the Shadowclaw Confederacy and the studies about Skaldi, you know, that this kind of interaction right now is kind of verifying those things for him. So this may be a moment where he is perhaps surprised or keenly interested or rejecting what's happening because it goes against what he thought was true before. Perhaps it's up to you how he reacts to this, but these are just some examples of how he may react with this given information.
So then a follow-up.
Sure.
Does Hideki have anything, given his backstory, does he have anything to offer that could show authority within the Onsai people to perhaps convince Godzilla over here that perhaps he could get an Onsai escort to the Cruinthe capital for them, and that he would put him and his own people at risk to protect the Skaldi and ensure the success? Like,
what did you have in mind? Because as he just said, paper could have lies. So if it's, you know, it wouldn't be a document, would not be something that you would lean on in this moment, I think.
Perhaps any kind of like seal of authority, not like I guess like a seal of authority, or perhaps like an intricate thing, like like a king has a crown, right? Would he have anything along those lines? Not like a crown per se, but
the
something of
shogun,
that.
the acting shogun hasn't given you anything outside of what equipment you have and like the order to go on this mission as sort of a oopsie, sorry, we'll help you out because of like the awkwardness that has ensued between us because of certain actions of certain people who shall not be named. So you're not here as like a representative of the Onsai people. You're here as a member of the Onsai people, kind of doing penance for something that happened between these two peoples, the Cruinthians and the Onsai. So it's kind of like that is an idea that crosses your mind, and you wish you had like a samurai sword.
I have my sword. I have the holy symbol.
That may be something that you could like use to say, "Hey, I am different than them." That is a possibility. But you don't have like a samurai sword of office, which is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So
I suppose Hideki will, when he mentions that like it could just be another set of lies, or we have no promises, Hideki will approach forward, his sword like out in his hand, not drawn, but like he's grabbing the scabbard, as well as his holy symbol, whatever that would be, something of meaning to the Onsai people.
It'd be a sun motif.
And he'll like bow his head as like a sign of respect, and he'll say, initially I got off in wrong foot with one of your members. I did not wish to cause any hostile actions amongst our people. I come from Onsai, far to the south. My people are refugees currently surviving in Cruinthe, to the east, near the town of Delta, right?
Yep.
Yeah. My people, I can speak with our leader and have him perhaps give an escort for you and a party or several others to go speak personally with the Princess of Cruinthe.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay. Does anybody have a fate point I can borrow?
Huh.
Can I give him my modifier?
No, you can't. Sorry, buddy. Doesn't work that way.
Well, provided it's not one.
All right.
No, that was a bad failure.
So, Elder Infarak, whose name you haven't learned yet, says, this is the one whose first actions in coming in contact with our party out there was to slap manacles on him like he was some kind of slave. That's correct, Bizch. And the Viper behind Infarak nods and says, yes, he is the one who did that. The chief says, I don't believe that there is any sort of gift you can give or symbol you can give that would have me trust you so outright, as you showed such little trust to my kin to begin with.
Keenan is going to whisper into Varaka the translate. Oh wait, hold up. they're in Cruinthian right now, not on the
yeah,
language.
there's the elder and Bizj and I'll go ahead and show the name because you guys have just learned Bizj.
BH.
Bizj. So that's Bizj right there. Those three have spoken in Cruic.
I will I will say there is much we do not know about your culture, just as there's things you do not know about ours, and sometimes the unknown can wrongfully lead us in handling things incorrectly.
Okay.
Our team members, our kingdom, and our people do not wish to bring you harm. We are here to cease hostilities.
All right. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
It's just going to be a series of persuasion check rolls kind of game, I see.
Well, this is diplomacy, so generally, yes, unless you want to embark in the land of deception.
No, any chance I can get advantage for being awesome.
For being awesome. The only way that you would get advantage is if somebody can help you.
I don't need it. I rolled an 18.
Oh, yeah, I don't need you. Shut up, DM. I don't take bribes.
I don't take bribes. I don't need help. Rolls a 20. Alright, so he kind of leans in towards you, and the space that separates you is about roughly 5 feet. He leans in towards you and closes that easily with his upper body.
I don't waver.
Yeah, and he says, interesting points from the Dusk One. Counterpoint in Farak. And he turns to Elder Infarak, who now you know his name. Who then says, we have a action from one of their party that has been construed poorly. Whether or not it was done out of malice in the first place is difficult to trust based on our histories between our peoples. We have soldiers here instead of ambassadors. We have a story about an army massing from the south. Many of these things are hard to believe. What would we gain from throwing in our lot with you all?
The army that affects our borders is a global threat. It affects all of us, and I don't know if this is the first you've seen of it. I will wave to Kara to come forward if she can. And I will say, Kara has been stationed here on the borders and has had direct interactions with this army. And I will... Hideki, did you share the history of your people on our trip?
Sure.
I will say...
aware of, like, them being destroyed by the demons. But
right. I will say Hideki's people are refugees. They've been completely torn from their homes because of this threat. It is not a small threat. It is a very large one. And I'll just kind of gauge Kara and see if she's comfortable talking about the history of what transpired. So I'll turn to her and say, Kara, can you share your perspective here?
She says, I can give him my report, I guess, if that's what you're looking for. I don't really have much of a perspective.
It's a perspective, and they have not encountered these creatures other than what just transpired, it sounds like.
If that's your order, I'll do it, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. She salutes and then basically gives the same report that she gave you when you found her to Chief Ansarak, who seems to be listening quite intently. Anrek says something in Skaldi. Biz looks like he's translating for them. Kind of very quietly back here in the corner over here. Once the report is given, Kara kind of steps back, like all the way towards the fire, and, and leans in towards Edelin and says, "They are so much bigger up close, I'll tell you that."
Baraka, would you mind if I tell a story?
You're welcome to.
Remember, there wasn't the only one who wasn't their first time encountering these enemies. I have been in the front lines battling these demons. They're not a joke. Every time you cut one down, two more would appear from behind them. I firmly believe it would be impossible for the current army to take them all alone. They have even stronger creatures than the ones you have seen here. I have fought them personally. He says that Norman pulls off his right glove, revealing a huge burn scar running around along his right arm. I have felt my hand trying to fight them. I wasn't even able to take them alone. The only reason I'm still alive is because there were many with me, and not all of them came out alive. And there was only one on the enemy side. Please, trust us a little bit, and at least help us fight this opponent together.
Okay. Keep going.
Maybe above the individual of us, but like they have in a group, it is better to take them on than alone.
Okay.
Can I bookend that before?
Sure.
So I'll nod to Norman and I will say, this threat has and will affect all of us. I do not know yet if you've heard the statements from your warriors who fought alongside us just a few hours ago. What we fought was not of this world.
Ansarok nods, and go ahead and elect someone to roll the persuasion check at advantage.
I'm already at advantage because of ego.
Go for it.
25, okay.
Hell yeah.
Ansarok says, So we put our lives on the line for Cruinthians. Cruinthians put their lives on the line for us. What guarantees do we have that when it's all over, it won't go back to the way things were before?
I'll say, we are looking for the next step forward. This is a cease of hostilities, open trade among our peoples.
This
to create a better relation between us.
This word here, borders, and he kind of points at the paper that Inferak is holding.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Oh gosh. So I'm trying to remember what you've told us about this history. Helcorth, right, is the southern capital that has had the most experience with this.
If you're talking about in relationship to the demons, yes.
Okay.
Skaldi live all over Cruinthe, but for Shadowclaw Confederacy, they seem to be based in the swamps here, and so the nearest cities are both Delta, Helcorth, and Rosterford.
Okay. Is he asking about borders because we've mentioned it, or is he asking about borders because it's in the contract? Because I don't.
He's asking about it because it's in the contract. Because he's pointing to the paper.
A signed pact of open borders between the parties of the pact. It means that we can travel freely along your lands as well as you along ours.
To understand, I could walk into your capital city. No harm?
Yes.
Correct.
Ansara kind of gives Inferak a telling look a little bit. Inferak kind of shrivels even further.
I would, if I may, do some sort of like insights.
Sure.
Just to see if there was like not he came to the wrong realization. Let's say he say I can walk into your capital. He doesn't mean like I can just walk with my army into your capital, no problem.
Sure. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Oh, 11.
I mean, maybe? Maybe he's getting it? You might want to clarify that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you would be very much welcome. Any of the Skaldi would be welcome into our capitals. However, it's good to know that just like if we came here, we would be subjected to be respectful to the laws that of your authority. The same would be done if you were to enter the capital. We of course would never harass you for anything unjust.
Okay, so go ahead and make a persuasion check there.
Okay. Where is my persuasion founded?
And Adeline, anything?
Oh, natural 20!
Hey!
Hey! Adeline, anything that you'd like to add?
Adeline is standing a little bit at the back, feeling a little bit uneasy. Not really sure what to do or what to say without knowing that she is saying or doing the wrong thing.
A little bit stricken by nerves.
Would you like to hold Keenan's hand for reassurance?
Keenan's a good, like, nearly 8 feet away from her. It's a long arm, Keenan.
Well, it depends if she was feeling that before because I was like here, and it depends like if she was feeling that before because Keenan like is always watching Adeline to see if she like is okay with stuff happening around her. So he might have been like holding hands for like moral support before that.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
It makes for a little bit easier, but that's about it.
So Ansrak says, well, you understand, for us to be considered of an alliance here, it must be earned. You must demonstrate your ability.
Ability to do what exactly?
He kind of is looking around like he's not sure he said the right words. Elder Infrak kind of nods at him like, you said the right words? And Ansrak kind of leans in real close to you and asks you, are you off? And he kind of pats you on the head.
Out of character, did I actually miss something?
No, he is. I didn't say a particular like what kind of ability. So his question from like a
Yeah.
it makes sense from needing more specifics. But obviously, it seems like the chieftain and Infarak both seem to understand what they're trying to say, so they think you're stupid.
Keenan is going to try to act very dignified, like he stands by the position that no, you said like he's sure like no, you said the wrong words. Like it seems that I might have missed something. Ability exactly to do what? I asked again. I'm sorry if I am not understanding of your words, Chief.
The chief says, your willingness to commit to a joint war against these invaders. You demonstrate that ability by showing us that you're strong enough to stand against them. Is that not clear?
So you're looking for a show of strength?
Correct. Yes.
How do you think we could prove that to you?
I have ideas. And he kind of like waves his hands around, and these three kind of like back up to the bridge. And then he makes a sort of like calling noise. It sounds sort of like a very loud cough and honk at the same time. And the elder kind of steps back just a tad, and out of the water on the right side here, a large creature comes stomping out.
Holy shit!
He saunters over towards it, hops onto its back, and says, "We will do battle." And we will go ahead and take a 12-minute break here. Be back at 2:20, so we can, prepare for this combat a little bit. All right.
The thing, I still have all my resources. By resources, I mean the one thing I have.
Okay. Welcome back.
Don't want to come back.
Let's get started. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Let's go.
Wait, hold up. What about the prep time?
There's no prep time.
What the fuck? Oh no!
You said you had to ask if you wanted prep time. And Hideki realizes that no favors will be afforded to him, so he's not going to ask.
I thought we were going to. Never mind. It is what it is. Let's go.
If you want prep time, ask him, bro.
Here it is.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal to me. It's fine.
What did I roll for initiative?
Oh boy.
Fuck. Where's the music gone?
It should be coming in. It should be loading into you soon.
Party Killer Remix.
Okay, there are two creatures,
Jerry Khaled.
not just one.
Yes. He told us that. He said,
Okay. CJ, could we have had or like a weapons draw?
Sure.
Yay.
It is Hideki's start. Go ahead, Hideki.
this T-Rex looking bastard.
Yeah.
Is its mouth open?
Do you want to reenact Moby Dick?
Let's find out.
Let's find out as in you're not going to tell me, or let's find out as in you're rolling for it?
I'm gonna roll for it.
Okay.
Jump in.
Not what I wanted to do.
Okay, Hideki. Odds or evens? Odds being the mouth is open, or evens being the mouth is open?
Odds.
Odds. The mouth is open.
Very cool.
I like that odds.
Are you gonna shadow step into its mouth?
I have a very interesting question for you.
Sure.
Let me make sure I read this whole thing first.
Both
Okay.
like and don't like where this is going.
I like it. I trust you, Tibble.
You gave me a very fun item.
Yeah.
I've been struggling with how to use.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have the question for you: how the creature is as big as it is, right? So it is a 15 square foot creature, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything shadowy? I assume that tree casts a shadow, perhaps?
Yes.
Smell.
Okay. I would like to do the following.
Okay.
I would like to shadow step the 60 feet to the tree.
Sure.
Let me move. Okay. Let me make sure that I've got shadow step. Make sure I read that before I. Okay, I have the first. How high up is its mouth?
Probably like, I want to say 13 to 15 feet off the ground.
Is there a way I can run up and jam something down its throat?
You could succeed on an acrobatics check to do so, yes.
Okay. I wish I could have gotten inspiration. Shit. You know what? I feel reasonably confident. Alright, I'm gonna try to run up its face.
Okay.
So that would put me, like, within its square? Where would this put me?
We'll say it will go, just for the ease of you being able to recover your token, right here.
Right there. Okay.
Yeah.
So that...
But you will be considered on its footprint.
Okay. So this is the acrobatics to try and, like, run up it.
Yeah, sure, that'll do.
14
Yeah.
will do?
Yep, that'll do.
Okay. I would like to take my ever-smoking bottle, uncork it, and throw it down its throat.
Okay. Give me a dexterity attacks roll. So that is your dex modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
This is a melee attack.
You're throwing it, you said.
Okay. This is just a ability check.
Yeah, it's just like a regular attack roll. So you roll the d20, add your proficiency bonus and your dexterity modifier.
Okay. My proficiency is 3 in case it doesn't add, so we'll go from there.
Okay, so that is 17.
So 17?
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, cool. So, for the purposes of this, the ever-smoking bottle will... So when I use it to remove the stopper, a thick cloud of smoke pours out. He's 60 feet from the bottle. And, like, he's uncorking it as he's tossing it down the creature's throat. So I imagine there's a big puff, like, somewhere in its mouth or throat.
Yeah, a little bit.
So the cloud's area is heavily obscured, and each minute that it remains open, the radius increases by 10 feet. So the idea here, in case we have to retcon the whole turn, the idea here is that I'm going to either smoke it out and cause it to, like, pass out, or it's just completely blinded because the smoke is coming from its face, covering its eyes, not able to see. So that's my attack. I don't believe I can. Flurry of. Oh, I did. That was an attack action.
That was an action to, that was an attack action to throw it. Yes.
So it was an attack action to throw it. Then, where am I at in relation to the creature? Am I below it? Am I on it?
Well, you haven't you're still kind of on it, because you haven't said you jumped off, so.
Then I will try to get back up and flurry of blows the chieftain.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Yep.
Let's go, Kenshiro!
We go. Features. That's not what I want. Attack. That would be the first strike.
Misses.
And then the second one. 17?
Misses.
17 misses. That's all Hideki can do then.
Okay, at the end of your turn, Chief Ansarok attacks with his halberd. $15 hit you?
No.
Okay.
AC is 16.
Legendary action moment.
Alright, it is now Veracast's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna move up to hereish. And let me look at this again. Look for the distance. Alright. This is gonna hit Hideki, but it's
Hideki?
You're on top of the thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Vera is gonna cast Fairy Fire, and she's gonna put it further up where it is hitting hopefully part of the creature and the chieftain.
Okay.
Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light. If it fails a dex saving throw, for the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible.
Neon Hideki! Wow!
So I need to. So it's a DC 13. It says. Is this me?
No, I'm trying to give you a 20-foot cube.
Oh.
I can't remember.
I'm moving it. Why am I moving it?
Sorry. Hold on.
Okay.
There. Okay, so you wanted it there? Right?
I want it where the chieftain is and the creature.
Yeah, that's where the chieftain is and the creature.
Okay, and just raised a little bit because I know he's a little bit higher.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And they need to make dexterity saving throws, correct?
Yes, but I wanted to try to verify that 13, and I can't move it because it's still giving me access to the cube. So how do I not touch the cube?
It's a 13.
Okay.
You can just hit escape off of it, I think. Okay. So let me go ahead and roll those dex saves. And then for the Nosar... Okay, they both fail.
Yes. Okay. And then I will bonus action rage.
Okay. At the end of your turn, Chief Ansarak is going to use his tail whip attack on Hideki because he is the closest.
Or do you mean the only one in range?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the closest.
You're the Mega Bolter. Act like it.
22 hits?
22 most definitely will hit.
That is 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
You've got it, dude.
After the halberd swing, he kind of pirouettes and hits you with his tail, whacking you hard across the body with it. Okay, that is the end of Veracast's turn. It is now Chief Ansarak's turn. Let's see. Chief Ansarak is going to, after hitting you, have drawn his longbow and fire 3 shots down at the rest of the group. The first attack will be going to Veracast. 27.
That hits.
Okay. That will be 14 points of piercing damage, halved to 7. Second attack is going to Keenan. That is a 13.
Miss.
Okay. And the third attack is going to Edeling. That is a 15.
Hits.
That is 7 points of piercing damage. That is the end of Ansarak's turn. It is now Norman's turn.
God, I'm in a bad position. Right, I'm gonna use bonus action dash. I'm gonna move right up here.
Okay.
Round 2. Gonna booming blade the Allosaurus, or what's it called?
The Alisar.
Allosaurus.
Okay.
With my scimitar.
Scimitar.
Yeah. Attack. Advantage because of the fairy fire, right?
Yes. 14 hits the Alisar.
Alright. That's both normal damage, sneak attack, and booming blade. Uh, 1 plus 13 plus 8. $22 damage. Wrong. Right. And then I would like to back away the remainder 10 feet. My movement.
Whoa! What happened with the chief?
Hello?
So what happened with Chief? Did he got dragged?
No idea.
He jumped off the Alisar? Sorry, my whole thing, I had my mic up. He jumped off the Alisar as part of his legendary action, and then walked up another 10 feet towards Norman. So, Cara Doulahan, not knowing what to do, kind of moves up to back up Veracasa, and that is the end of her turn. She does not have any ranged weapons. It is now the Alisar's turn. Still with Fairy Fire, it's going to kind of stomp around to here. And it's going to take a multi-attack. The first attack is going to be a bite, and that bite will be at Norman.
Alright. Alright, it takes 1d8 extra damage because of Booming Blade.
Okay. Roll that d8. Does a 24 hit you?
Yes.
Alright. Advantage for it because you are
No,
flanked.
It deals 2d8 damage.
Okay, roll the 2d8s.
Okay, I'm just gonna... Damn it, Steam notifications just right over the die.
And you take... God damn it. There we go. You take 36 points of piercing damage as it bites you.
Holy shit.
Is it?
Yeah, you should be right there, Hideki. Yeah.
Is it at any kind of disadvantage or anything because of the ever-smoking bottle?
For the ever-smoking bottle, you threw it into its mouth. It's starting to spread around its mouth and such. It's starting to come out of its nose and things. I need to make an intelligence test for it. Thank you for reminding me. It is not very smart, so... I believe it has swallowed the bottle.
Oh, dude.
So
That's...
who knows what'll happen there?
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. It is a 60-foot radius in which it...
Yeah, so there was like a lot of smoke as it was starting to stomp around, and then there's still smoke coming out of it, but it's not as much. It must have swallowed what you threw in its mouth. Who knows what kind of effect that may have later? But right now, it doesn't seem to be debilitated by that.
Okay.
We'll see. Alright, that is the end of the Alisar's... oh no, he has the other attack, sorry. Let's see. He's going to use his tail attack on Hideki. Because as he stomps, he's just going boom, boom, and just whips it back and forth. He whips his tail back and forth. Does a 21 hit you?
Yep.
Okay. And that's 22 points of bludgeoning.
Okay.
Alright. That is the end of the Alisar's turn. It is now Keenan's turn.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Keenan is like going, Adeline, please take cover. This is going to get interesting. Gonna go. Excuse me, my ladies. For Queen and Country, time for battle. And he's going to look at Veraka and Kira, gonna give them a nod, and he's gonna charge. Here, and he's going to activate his Halo of Spores.
Okay.
Gonna remove that. I'm gonna get 24 HP, temporary HP. And I'm going to pull out my quarterstaff. But before I do that, I'm gonna use a bonus action to cast Shillelagh on it.
Okay.
Yep. Shillelagh, Halo of Spores, and that's my entire turn. Oh no, let me get close to this guy. Yep.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. At the end of your turn, Chief Ansrak is going to take a halberd attack at you, Keenan, as you approach him.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 20 hit?
Does.
Okay. Alright, that is 12 points of piercing damage, and... Yep, 12 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Or slashing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It is now... Adelaine's turn.
Quick reminder to myself, who got all hit in A attack in the last turn?
That would be
Again.
Hideki. That would be
Yeah.
Norman. That would be Keenan. And that would be Veracasa and yourself.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe... Yeah. I am going to cast Mass Healing Word.
Okay.
I can choose 6 creatures which I can see within range, and regain hit points equal to 1d4 plus my spellcasting.
Okay.
Do I see Hideki from my position?
Yes.
Okay, that means basically, well, everyone.
Alright.
And I have a feature that is called... Where is it? Spiritual Focus. Whenever I cast a board spell that deals damage or restores hit points to my Spiritual Focus, I can roll a d6 and gain the bonus to my damage or healing.
Alright.
So long story short, everyone gets 1d4 plus 1d6 healing, which makes it 10 healing for basically everyone.
That's pretty good.
That spell takes my bonus action.
Okay. That is a leveled spell, so...
It's a leveled spell, so I can use a cantrip if I remember correctly.
Correct.
And for my main action, I'm going to cast Dancing Lights.
Ooh.
And I want to cast it in front of the Allosaur's eyes to basically blind it.
Okay. Bonus action on your turn, you can
Sorry.
Alright, I will allow this creative use of dancing lights. I will make him make a saving throw. What is your spell DC?
My spell DC is 14.
Okay. The lights pop up into existence in front of it, sort of covering its eyes, and it blinks rapidly for a moment, and then it kind of like lowers its head. It may be visually stunned for the moment. You're not sure if it worked or not, but it seems to have lowered its head and has kind of turned, and it's blinking rapidly. Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
Okay. On the end of your turn, Chief Ansarak is going to slash Keenan with his claws. Uh, 13 hit you?
Nope.
Okay, misses. These long, forearm-sized claws just come raking across the air after the halberd kind of hit you pretty hard. You were staggered back, and as you staggered back, you had the thought to duck, and the claws that might have taken your head clean off just go right over top of you, whistling as they go.
My word, Chieftain, you were an adept fighter.
This is fun! And it is now Hideki's turn. Can't hear you if you're talking.
I'm gonna make an unarmed strike against the chieftain, assuming that I am still flanking.
Yes, you are flanking now. Actually, he's overwhelmed.
And I will also make, while I'm at it, a flurry of blows.
He's also fairy fire, right?
Yes, he is also fairy fired, so it's at advantage.
Okay. The unarmed strike. 18. Oh, it's at advantage, you said?
Yep.
26.
26 hits.
Okay. That will be 7 bludgeoning damage on that one.
Are your fists considered magical?
For the purposes of overcoming things, I believe so.
Okay.
Let me double check. I believe at level 6 you get magical fists.
Oh.
Unarmed strikes count as magical for the purposes of overcoming resistances and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage.
Okay. Great. Your second flurry of blows hits.
So 22 and oops. Okay. I told it to roll with advantage, but it didn't. 25. So both of those hit.
Yes. Is that 15 a mistake?
First one. Yeah, the 15 was a
Misclick?
No, it for whatever reason I hit
Oh,
advantage.
okay. Yeah, I got you.
Normal.
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
the 25 was the double roll. So 10 on the first strike. And 10 on the second strike.
Great.
So that's all Hideki can do.
Alright, you give him a couple of blows in the back, just going right up the back on him, trying to find some various key positions on him. Maybe you stun him through that sort of means, perhaps. Maybe lock his chakra gates, whatever you're trying to do. And you feel like you've done some damage on him. Alright. That is the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, Veracasa, it is your turn.
Okay. I am going to Can I try to shoot a javelin into the eye of the Alisar?
Sure. It's a specific target, but you can do that, yeah.
Okay. Alright, so... And with advantage because he's fairy fired, right?
Correct.
Ooh.
24. Yeah, I'll say that hits.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Very lame piercing.
5 points of piercing damage?
Yeah.
Alright. So the beast roars as the javelin gets stuck in the eye socket. It kind of just freaks out for a moment. You're fairly certain you hit that eyeball dead on.
Okay. I have a second action, right?
Yeah, you should have a second attack.
I guess I will, move up to here and continue to work on the Alisar.
Okay.
So, sword attack.
Sword attack.
Saber attack, really.
Mm-hmm.
Also with advantage.
Correct. 22 hits.
Okay. And damage. Another 5 points of slashing to it.
9 from the bonuses.
Okay.
Yeah. Good hit. Yeah, you go up and you cut it on one of its legs. It roars again.
Roar.
Roar.
And can I be on the side that I feel like I blinded?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, you are, because it's kind of facing the way its portrait's facing right now.
Yeah.
So you jabbed it in its right eye, and so there's this big javelin kind of sticking out of it there, and then you come up from the side and hit it from its right side. It's now Chief Ansarak's turn, and he's going to make 3 melee attacks.
Before he does it, have him do... I'm gonna use my reaction since I started his turn close to me. Have him do a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
DC 15.
He seems to fail, but he seems to overcome it anyway.
Okay.
So he kind of like shakes it off and takes his turn.
Gross. Did you just fart cloud him, dude?
Yeah. Didn't you do that to his pet?
No, dude, I tossed a fart bomb in there.
Sure.
First attack is going towards Keenan with a halberd attack. 27 hits.
Yep.
That is 8 points of slashing damage.
8 points. Oof. Okay, yeah, that's bad. Ouch, 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 ouch.
The second attack is a bite attack on Norman. 21?
Yes.
Okay. That is 10 points of bitey damage.
Okay, I'm back to 8.
And the third attack is a claw attack on Hideki.
I'd like to see him try.
Does a 19 hit you?
I wish it didn't. But it does.
That is 13 points of slashing damage from the claws.
Ow.
Okay. So as you release this cloud of spores and he kind of like has a moment of just, oh, that's gross. He slashes at you with his halberd, spins, bites, and takes a chunk out of Norman, almost throwing him off his feet, and then whirls around and slashes Hideki as sort of this spinning dervish of death.
No, hors d'oeuvres are a cool snack.
Norman, it is your turn.
Healing potions are a full action, right?
Bonus action.
Okay.
I allow them to be a bonus action.
Okay, I'm gonna attack the chief with... I'm just gonna attack the chief with a normal attack. I don't know how close he is to death.
Okay.
Attack. Advantage, right?
Yes.
Ooh.
25 hits.
A sneak attack. More. Scimitar damage.
Scimitar. Okay.
Then I'm gonna move in this direction. Yeah, here.
Okay. He cannot hit you back because you have fancy footwork.
And I'm gonna use a healing potion as a bonus action, the only one I have.
Okay.
It's 2d6, right? Or 2d4?
2d4 plus 2.
So, 2d... No, that's d8. d4. 2. 9. Take me up to 17, and I delete this thing. Right, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. At the end of your turn, Chief Ansarak is going to move. He's going to come over here.
Eliciting Opportunity attack?
Yes. .26 hits.
5 damage.
Okay. Alright, it's Kara's turn. She's going to use her multi-attack to take 2 swings with her short sword. Against the Chief Ansarak, who is now right up close and personal with her, and she looks very scared and very nervous.
Witness me!
Actually, she should have rolled that at advantage, so... misses on a 20.
Aw.
And second attack... misses again on a 20. Alright, she is going to realize that as her sword hits him, the edge is getting blunt against his natural scales. She kind of like realizes the problem and backs away closer to Adelaine. This elicits an opportunity attack from Chief Ansarak as a reaction. That's a natural 20.
Oh! Who's running away now? Not the fop, that's who it is.
That is 30 points of damage. Kara Dullahan is down.
A little funny.
Good. Caradula down.
I like to think of her just running and then just...
So as after she like hits him twice and doesn't seem to do anything to him, she starts to back away and he just cuts her down with the claws. She doesn't even make it out of the spot. Alright. That is the end of Kara's turn. It's now the Alisar's turn. Okay. So, it kind of like burps, and you see this big like cloud of black smoke come out of its mouth. And then it seems to stumble in a random direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it stumbles this way.
Oh, that's not good.
It kind of hits the tree and starts attacking the tree.
Oh, can you imagine if it stumbles into the other, like, members of the...
Oh yeah, that hits the tree. Yeah, that hits the tree too.
What's the tree AC?
It's low. The tree's AC is very low. It does 58 points of damage to the tree, knocking it down into the water. It seems dazed and confused, and it might have the tummy rumblies.
Did I feel that? Get you some magnesium citrate, it'll clear you out.
Yeah. Some of the pink stuff. So, it is now Keenan's turn.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's do this. Bonus action. Hunter's Mark on Chief.
Okay.
That's deducted my little spell slot here. Okay. Out of level 1 spell slots now. Okay. Yeah. So then I'm going to start attacking him with my Skyblinder staff.
Okay.
That's not right. It should be 15 plus my wisdom. That's 20, and my proficiency is for a 23.
Hold on. Sky Blinder Staff, right?
Oh yeah, +1, 24. Oh,
Be at advantage though.
yeah, I roll with advantage.
was
It's a 6 and a 15.
Wisdom comes from Shilahai, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Not be at advantage, buddy.
No, he's fairy fired.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Simple melee attuned. You should have proficiency in simple melee. Quarterstaff, yeah. Okay. Just trying to figure out why it rolled wrong.
Maybe is the Shillelagh I need to put an attack on me?
No, it's because it didn't. It doesn't have the at mod in there, so that's why. It's because the stuff for it isn't fully synced. I thought it would have updated with it, but it didn't. So +0 from strength and +3 from proficiency to hit. And
no, wisdom because Shillelagh. I casted it last turn.
Okay, so that's not automatic. So +7, +3 for your 2 hit. So,
So 4 wisdom, 3 proficiency, and +1 for the weapon.
Yep. Alright, so total of +7. Okay, that should fix it. And then the damage formula is based on wisdom, right?
No, both to hit and to damage are wisdom, yeah.
So what? Yes. The answer to the question is yes. Okay. Not no.
Yeah.
Don't try confusing me. Okay. 15 against 16 against
23.
15 plus 7, right?
22.
22?
No, it's +8. Because I have the +1 from the Skyblinder staff.
Right. Yeah, so that's +8, so that's 23. Okay, yeah, that hits.
Okay. Okay, so it's gonna be Shillelagh attack. Let's go. $11.
Misses.
No, that's damage.
You rolled
You rolled a 1d20.
Oh, okay, I'm being stupid, sorry. Yeah.
8.
Okay, so 8
Okay.
plus my hunter's mark. It's a d6.
God damn it, I did it again.
And finally, because I am a druid of the spores, I get 1d8 necrotic damage added to my melee attacks. Ooh, 6. So 17.
Okay.
17 plus the 1 from the staff, 18. Okay, yeah, 18 damage. I'm going to hit the. Yeah, I'm gonna hit the chief on his back. Pah!
Okay.
And I'm going to retreat a little bit because he's getting really close to my buddies that I really, really like. Over here, Chief.
Yep. He's already done an opportunity attack, so you're safe for that. However, at the end of your turn, he's going to take an attack on you, Keenan, with his halberd. You're still within reach.
Oh boy, I forgot about that.
Yeah. 23 hits you?
23 hits me.
9 points of slashing damage.
9. Okay.
It is
And
now... Go ahead.
Constitution saving throw to see if I keep up Hunter's Mark.
Yep.
Nope. I lose the concentration of that spell. It fizzles.
Womp, womp, womp. Okay. I need to scroll up and see something. Yeah, that passes. Okay. So Fairy Fire is still active, and it is now Adeline's turn.
In terms of wounds, how wounded is everyone?
Well, Kara Dullahan is bleeding out on the ground right there.
I saw.
Yes. Hideki looks pretty bad, probably, from your vantage point. Norman looks decently bad. Everybody else looks okay. If you want to assess your quote-unquote enemies, you can roll an insight check.
Opponents would be the better word right now.
Mm-hmm.
The insight check doesn't eat my action.
No.
Nice.
Okay,
17.
so which one are you inciting?
The chief.
The chief looks like he's having a good time. He's got a couple of wounds, but they don't look too bad.
All right. Let's see. Adeline is going to run up to Kara.
Mm-hmm.
Well, run for 10 feet. 10 feet. And is going to cast Cure Wounds
Okay.
on, let's say, 2nd level.
Okay.
Which includes the 1d6 of healing extra again.
Mm-hmm.
From her ability. Which comes on 18.
Okay. That nearly gets her up to full.
Oh.
Yeah, she only has 20 hit points.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
I would have one shot at her.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
For my bonus action, I'm gonna do Tales from Beyond Determined Tale.
Okay.
Which is this whole list.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of stuff.
Roll your d12.
D8 if I remember correctly, because it's based on my...
Oh, yes. Yes, you're right. It's based on your Bardic Inspiration die.
Yeah.
8. Tail
Which
of
is
the Phantom.
Tail of the Phantom becomes invisible till the end of turn or until it hits a creature with an attack. Okay, that tail is determined. It isn't applied to anyone because that takes an action.
Okay. So you can apply it next turn.
I'm going to apply it next turn.
Okay. Alright. That is the end of your turn.
Yes.
I'm not gonna see any inspiration.
At the end of your turn, the chief is going to attack Veracasa. He's going to use a tail swipe. 26 will hit you. Damage is 9 bludgeoning. Halved to 4. Yes. So Veracasa should take 4 damage from that. Yep. And that is now Hideki's turn.
Okay. Move there. And let me just I'm going to go ahead and just wallop on him some more.
Okay.
The initial attack is 24 to hit.
Sure.
And then here's the 2 flurry of blows. 21 and another 24.
21 misses.
Okay. Wow. Actually, on the 21, I would like to use... Where is it? Hang on. Gotta find the ability, but... I would like to use 1 key point to increase that to a 23.
Sure.
Does that hit?
23 would hit, yes.
Awesome. So, a whopping total of 24?
Okay. End of your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, at the end of your turn, he's going to make a claw attack on you.
I'd like to see him do it. That probably hit.
16 hits you?
20.
16 meets my AC, so yeah.
Alright. It's 10 points of slashing damage.
Hideki is down.
We've got a Hideki down. We've got a Hideki down.
A downer.
Alright. Veracasa, it is your turn.
How a bummer, dude.
What bummer.
That's my fucking 13th reason. God damn.
Did I get inspiration for that?
No.
No.
Ah! Come on!
Oh man, that's funny though. All right, what's Veracasa doing? She muted? She's muted right now. She might be yelling at the dogs.
Sorry, they are being very obnoxious and it's distracting. I guess I'm gonna try to hit him. I haven't tried yet.
Okay.
So... 21.
21 glances off of his natural armor, sparks flying.
21.
So that misses.
Second attack, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Natural 20.
Hey, there you go.
My boy!
There's a critical hit. Go ahead and roll that beautiful dice footage.
Yo!
21 points of damage with that saber. Ouch.
I find a very sensitive area, I guess.
Yeah. You get it in there, and you, after glancing off of his armor, you notice that there is a scale that has come loose from that first strike, and you push your blade tip in under that scale. It comes popping off, goes flying into the dirt, and you shove the sword all the way in. He suddenly jerks to the side, knowing that he's been hit pretty badly, and that is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Good hit.
I guess I can't really move. I will try to pivot around and move closer to where Hideki is down.
Okay. So you circle around him, trying to keep your eye on him. The Alisar is busy taking this tree all the way down to the water. That's still happening, just, until his turn comes up. But yeah, you're...
Actually, have I used a bonus action yet?
You have not.
You know what? I'll save it, because I think I have a potion. I'll kind of, ready a potion of healing.
Sure, you can pull it out.
Yeah, I know I can't give it yet. But...
Not yet. It's an action to feed someone else.
Yep.
Bonus action to feed yourself. Okay. That's for everybody to know. Chief Ansarak's turn.
Constitution save.
Constitution save. Saving throw. Roll. He passes. 27.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Alright, it is his turn. He's going to make his multi-attack. So he's going to first strike with... Oh, he's going to move first, because he's... I got a dearth of targets there. Let's see. Veracasa... Please, let me finish. Thank you. Veracasa, go ahead and give an opportunity attack. I was going to say that. And then we got 3 attacks coming in on nearby people, so...
Is opportunity the same as the standard?
Yes, it's
okay.
It's a regular attack for you. Whatever melee weapon you have, so would be your saber.
And still advantage?
Yes, because he's still fairy fired, so. 17 glancing blow doesn't deal any damage. All right. So here comes the halberd attack at you as he's kind of backing away, or moving towards Keenan Veracasa. That is a 18 to hit. I believe that hits you. Yes, it does. Okay. And damage. 11 points of slashing damage, halved to 5. And now the claw attack, that'll go on Kara, because she's closer. Oh, that's a 29. That hits her.
Why do you have to roll so high?
This is against the NPC.
Well, it's 3 targets, right? And 2 of them are in short range, and 1 of them is in long range, so it's just a matter of spreading it out. So Kara will survive this, taking only 10 points of damage. So she's up. She's not even up. She's still prone, and it just comes down and rakes her with the claws, and she just kind of like pitches and rolls a little bit, going, "Oh God, why am I still alive?" And then the third attack is a bite attack on Keenan. 24 to hit.
Yep.
10 points of bitey damage.
Damn, son. Okay. Is this a bad time to say that I really love your lands and I wish permission for pilgrimage here later? That hurts.
Swamps are terrible. And that's the end of his turn. It is now Norman's turn.
Right, first I'd like to bonus action second wind.
Sure.
Second wind, usability, healing, normal.
3 points of healing.
That's got me at the 20. Alright, I'll gonna move forward here and use Booming Blade.
Okay.
Can Booming Blade be non-lethal?
No.
I think it's way too healthy for us to start to think about this.
Inventory. Side inventory. Advantage, right?
Yes. Only because of fairy fire.
Oh.
19 misses.
And I'm gonna move over here.
Okay. At the end of your turn, he's going to attack Keenan with his halberd. That's a 29 to hit.
Yep.
Yep. And that is another 9 points of slashing damage.
Is Fairy Fire a con save or con? To keep it up. It's concentration.
Yeah, con saves for concentration. Yeah.
Alright, so I actually need to be rolling that.
Yep. He did hit you last, so 10.
Ooh.
He did how much damage to you?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
I believe.
It was the halberd attack, so it was 5. You're good. Okay. Alright, so that was his legendary action at the end of Norman's turn. It is now Kara's turn. Kara, who is having a brief life flashing before her eyes moment, is going to stand up and take a couple of swings at him. First attack is a 21. Second attack is an 18, so sword blows bounce off his natural armor, but she's doing something. At the end of Kara's turn, Chief Ansarak is going to whip his halberd around and give Veracasa a poke with it.
Donk.
As he goes ahead and spins it. That is
Bring it on.
A 26 to hit.
That hits.
And the damage is 11 points of slashing damage, halved to 5.
Okay.
Okay. It is now the Alisar's turn. The Alisar kind of like shakes off something. The javelin falls out of its head and is in the ground now. There's like a little dinosaur eye on top of it. Okay, you're still good on that con save. It belches again, and there's just this big belch of black smoke. It's going to stomp its way over here.
He's gonna attack the committee!
And then it's going to do a tail attack on Veracasa. A 12 misses you. And here comes the bite attack on Norman. I believe a 27 is going to hit you, Norman.
Yes.
I'm going to say you're down because that's 35 points of damage.
Yep.
It goes ahead and wraps its jaws around you, bites down in your middle section. These long teeth, about the size of daggers, just pierce through your armor and wreck you. And then when you're done, he gives you a good shake like you're a dog, like he's a dog with a bone, and then drops you. You are unconscious.
No!
Okay. Keenan, it is your turn.
Okay. Let's give him a little bit of movement. Gonna go right here. And I'm gonna go and hit him again.
Mm-hmm.
baby. Nope.
You go to bonk him, and really, you just feel like you're hitting a rock with a stick. Just there's no give, and then you kind of scoot back even further.
Yeah, I'm trying to get his attention.
All right, he's going to turn and he's going to swing at you with his halberd.
Wait, no, it's 10 feet, right? I need to leave the 10 feet before. Oh no, legendary action. Sorry,
Yep.
I assumed.
Don't assume.
I will not.
27 hits. 14 points of slashing damage.
Oh, 14. That's bad.
All right, it is now Edeling's turn.
Oof.
I take on that everyone has been damaged.
Yes, significantly.
Basically. With exception for me, because I'm still at full hit points.
Somehow.
Not allowed to comment.
Somehow. And don't touch the healer.
Let's see.
Speaking about healing, I'm gonna do mass healing word.
Okay.
Again.
Mm-hmm.
There's 1d4 plus 1d6.
7 points.
That makes 7 points for everyone.
Cara Dolahan heals 7 points. Hideki and Norman both heal 7 points. You're both awake. And no longer unconscious.
And I am going to bestow till my tail from my previous turn. I'm gonna bestow it on Ferocity.
Oh, so you're gonna make her invisible?
I'm gonna make her invisible, and I believe for the next attack, if the target hits a creature with an attack during this invisibility, the creature it hits takes necrotic damage equal to a roll of my Bardic Inspiration die and is frightened of the target until the end of frightened creature next turn.
Oh.
So, okay. I need to. Target becomes invisible until the end of its next turn or until it hits a creature. Ooh, okay. Okay.
Okay. That is the end of your turn.
I am going to position myself. I am going to take a risk. I'm going to position myself right here.
All right.
That's the end of my turn.
All right. Hideki, you are awake suddenly.
Okay, Hideki will shake it off a little bit, look around, and get the status of everything.
Big Alisar is burping, but he's kind of recovered from whatever temporary madness had overcome it. He has just lain waste to Norman, spat him out, and now Norman's blinking open again.
I'm trying to see this, how alive either. Well, I know that the Alisar's fine, but...
Yeah, the Alisar's in pretty good shape. The Chief is also in decent shape. He looks like he's having a great time. And that's kind of throwing you off a bit, because normally in fights when you gauge an opponent and how they're doing, they seem to get angrier and angrier, or more wobbly and stuff, but this might be that insane bravery that Skaldi have, where he's just not afraid at all. And he's just having the best time of his life, it looks like. From a wounded standpoint, he seems wounded. There's a scale missing on one of his sides, and that is bleeding profusely.
That deck you believe there. And take his unarmed strikes.
Okay. 26 hits. 17 misses. And 11 misses.
That's a shame.
Mm-hmm. You were on a good streak there for a while.
8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. You go ahead and you slap him real hard on that wounded spot, and he kind of goes, "Ooh."
That's it.
All right. Veracasa, you are suddenly invisible. Boop. I don't know. Can you still see your character when I do that?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, that's okay. I knew where she was. Can I do a little bit of, like, checking in with Raven out of character?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so do I feel anything when this happens? Other than going invisible?
You feel basically like your limbs are like it is like the feeling of being underwater. It is a force that pushes against you but also lets you move through it.
Okay. And okay, so her intention is to continue to hit the chieftain. Just so you're aware.
Okay.
So invisible, she is going to slide over here. I want her to try to knock Kara back.
Oh, okay.
So she's going to tap her on the shoulder and just kind of nudge her as a direction.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because I'm invisible, is there any way I can, like, try to find the same spot that I've been hitting, or, like, a better place to try to make sure I'm getting actual damage
Mm-hmm.
in there?
In many Skaldi, the throat of the Skaldi, the underside of the throat, is not as armored.
Okay.
So you could try to go for that.
Okay. So I'm going to take an attack there.
All right.
Standard rage. Same saber attack. Della, put that shoe down. At advantage, right?
Mm-hmm. 22 hits on the money.
Whew. Okay. So I'll do my damage, and then Raven can do theirs.
If you would like Raven to roll the d6, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
You mean D8.
D8, yeah, sorry, my bad.
Whatever your inspiration is.
Yeah. All right, and 3.
3 necrotic damage if it's...
Mm-hmm. He seems to be not fazed at all by the fear part of this. So, he is immune to frightened.
Okay.
This guy.
It's the insane Skaldi bravery.
This guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, second attack.
Second attack. Uh, 22 hits again on the money.
Oof.
12.
Hey.
All right. You get a good hit on him, and he kind of immediately puts his hand up to the wound. And there's some significant blood pour coming out from under his hand. End of your turn?
Can I meet his wild grin with an equally wild grin with my wolf eyes, like, shining?
Sure, yeah.
And I don't know if Keenan's around to see it, but you see the same kind of, like, excitement as last time we played around with your scarf, we'll just say.
Mm-hmm.
All right. End of your turn. Instead of taking a legendary action to attack one of you, Chief Ansarok takes a position of neutrality sort of just kind of like halves his halberd up and leans it up against his shoulder and says, that was impressive. Unexpected. Impressive. Good. I agree to your terms.
Yay.
It's like as his turn was about to happen, like he could probably feel like his throat start to close as the spore was coming in, and then kind of just stops, and then he's probably gonna feel like really like, you know, when you're stuffy and like just out of nowhere you just gets clear, like fresh air.
I mean, with a 28 con save, I don't think he felt stuffy. So, so.
Why you gotta do this to me, CJ? Why can't you just let me have it?
He's
my flavor.
He's a cool character. I wanted to give him a moment too.
This entire fight was his cool moment. Poor Kara has her arm is dangling by a single tendon.
So yeah, your spores come in, and he's kind of like covered in this fine dust, and he kind of like wipes it away from his face. And he's like, "This stuff is weird."
Damn it.
He's about to get higher than a fucking kite.
I will hand Kara my healing potion that I had for Hideki. Just pass it her way.
And she's like, I will hold on to this for you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You can use it if you need it.
I'm okay. Thank you, though. I don't know how I'm still alive, but I am.
As they are talking, Adeline just puts a hand on Kara's shoulder and just puts a singular level of cure wounds.
Okay.
Onto her.
I mean, she has 5 hit points missing, but she'll take it. She doesn't have a choice because you're doing that to her.
I can do it 1 time free per day, so yay.
Nice.
Ooh. All right.
I guess that's combat end, right?
Yes. The Alisar get a low grumble erupts from Chief Ansarok, and the Alisar kind of heads off towards the water on the opposite side.
That's not a good idea with that thing on your mouth. Oh boy.
And he goes underwater.
Oh no.
Hideki will speak the words for it to close.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't quite catch all of that. I was adjusting music.
Hideki will speak the words for the ever-smoking bottle to close.
Okay. The Alisar, not that you were aware of this, but is a little uncomfortable for a moment as a cork passes through part of its digestive system to meet the bottle in the other part of the digestive system.
Where does he enter?
Sorry?
Where does the cork enter from?
Oh no.
The stomach,
oh no.
We'll say. It enters from the stomach into the large intestine.
I don't think that was the question, but I don't think I needed answered.
Yeah, you know what? That's good enough for me.
Thanks, guys. I'm glad that you both solved the issue you created.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, you go first.
Adeline is going up to people to check for wounds and apply healing whenever it's needed.
Well, so you know I'm at 7 HP.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna pat like Ferroc in the back, he's gonna pat Kara in the back, like good fight, good show. And then he's gonna go and tend to Norman. Norman, old chap. Good kerfuff as always.
Chieftain probably is still bleeding.
Oh, yeah, he's head over to the shaman who's looking him over and starting to patch him up a little bit, the elder. So
before he left, Hideki would have offered one of the healing potions he has.
Okay. He will take it, and he will carry it over with him to the elder.
out of character, the fight didn't end there. I was prepared to try to climb the I always forget its name.
Dinosaur.
The dinosaur?
Dinosaur, and try to take out for dinner his other eye.
Oh, okay.
Probably wouldn't have ended well.
Okay. So, anything you guys want to do in the Skaldi village before we move to the epilogue?
No. I'd like to try and recover the ever-smoking bottle if it's not currently.
Boy, you're not gonna like this.
Guts.
Um,
I said when it's not in a dinosaur's guts.
okay, you can stick around for the day and like recover it much later. Yeah.
That's
After
perfectly
meal
fine.
time.
It was gross, but you did it.
I don't think, you know what, it's okay. As long as the bottle is
Uh-huh.
turned.
Yeah, it seems to be in one piece.
There's water to wash it off in.
All right. Okay, so let's move on to the epilogue then.
Okay. Keenan would have a conversation, a small one to have with like his companions.
Mm-hmm.
To Adelaine and Norman, Keenan would be giddy that the mission went successful, and I think we achieved all 4 of our objectives. If nothing bad happens, like, we did it, as I said we would. Our big break came, and we just delivered wonderfully. So, each one of us got a beautiful title and a piece of land. So, what are you going to do with it?
Honestly, I don't know. Probably nothing in short term, considering this doesn't mean the other problem down south is magically gone.
You looking to go back to the front lines, Norman?
Maybe the only option we have.
Interesting. What about you, Adelaine? I know you like to spend your times in the forest, but a nice, beautiful house. What say you?
It sounds nice. I'm not quite sure yet.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well.
we'll have to see.
Mm-hmm. Well, with this piece of land, I will keep on doing my job, but now with the responsibilities of a baron, I don't know if I can keep on traveling like this. No, I mean, I do have a request for you, and it might be too much. If you're not gonna use your lands or your title, and you just will go to the war, would you mind giving it to me for the sake of my dream?
Give me a coin.
Sure, you can have the coin. You can be still employed to me.
I
What?
referred for you to actually flip a coin.
Flip a coin? Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Odds for yes. How about it?
Sure.
1 odds.
Oh, here you go.
Huh. That was. That was too
no.
easy.
Not one much for managing land at all. It'd probably be better under your care.
Huh. What about you, Adeline? I imagine if we pull all our resources together, we can make quite a name for ourselves.
I think so too.
Keenan is gonna start crying a little bit. Oh. Finally. and he's gonna like bring both of you together. We're gonna be the best druid family ever. We'll see. They'll see. The Nova 4 family. And he's going to like raise a glass of wine that he's gonna produce out of his bag.
Is this taking place in the Skaldi village?
Whenever we have a chance to rest. So if they are there to see it, they will see it.
They are very confused by what is happening here. Okay, so let me just make sure I get this straight. Norman has given Keenan his barony.
Yeah.
Is Norman keeping the money?
Yes, he probably will need that.
Okay. What else is Norman doing for the epilogue?
Well, it depends how it's south and... Well, the idiom doesn't work here since the war going south is better for us. But it depends how badly it goes. If it goes too badly, he will probably just stick completely to the front lines, but if it reaches at least a stalemate, he would probably go back to Keenan and maybe offer his expertise with weapons as training for anybody he needs.
Okay, so to help you make a decision, 2 years is the prologue time frame, the epilogue time frame for this little prologue campaign. So from 1045 to 1047 is the time period that we're covering here. And in that time period, the first expeditionary is still in Val'Ghast, and they are still trying to fight and hold the line against the demonic onslaught. That is not going especially well. A lot of men and people and resources are being diverted to stave that off as long as possible. So it is up to you whether or not you want to rejoin the front. So, would you like to rejoin the front or no? Norman, you there?
Yes, I'm just thinking it over.
Okay. While you're thinking that over, let me go ahead and connect with Raven. Raven, what are you doing in the next 2 years? Are you accepting the barony title? Are you accepting the money?
The money for sure she accept. The barony title. She follows Keenan. That is a little bit the whole plan for her. She wants him help grow the druid family, and basically help him achieving that goal and increasing that goal. So that is what she would be doing in the following 2 years.
Okay. Adeline, helping Keenan with his goals. All right.
And trying to keep Keenan out of trouble.
All right. Have you come to a decision, Norman, or no? Need a little more time?
I would say he would rejoin the front lines for 1 more year. If nothing goes off the deep end, he would probably take a break and visit Keenan again.
Okay. I need you to roll a 1d100. The higher, the better.
Alright.
Ooh.
Okay.
Right down the middle.
When you arrive on the front, things are pretty bad. you return to your duties as part of the 1st Expeditionary. Several battles later, you are maimed significantly, and you can no longer fight. For all intents and purposes of the character's future, he cannot continue fighting without significant time healing. It will take him years to recover from the wounds he suffered.
Well, then, time to make that visit.
Yeah, so you'll return to Cruinthe at that point, unable to fight any longer. And you can return to Keenan and help him in what limited capacity you have. After succumbing to receiving significant wounds on the front. You will walk away with significant trauma from it, and probably nightmares for the rest of your life.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay. So rejoin. Okay, let's get to Hideki. Hideki, what would you like to do for the next 2 years?
Hideki will take the barony and then offer that to the Shogun.
Mm-hmm.
Can we swap to the map of Cruinthe?
Yes.
Instead of the global map?
Let me preload that real quick for us. And let me activate now.
Okay. Depending on where they decide to claim the land, I would assume it would be somewhere in Delta, or near there, but I'm unsure.
Okay, hold on. There is Crown Land within the Delta area. It kind of ends right about here.
Okay, so that area.
That's kind of the line, and this is Crown Land all the way out across this river here.
Okay, what about up in here?
Up in here. This is claimed right here by another barony, but there is available land out here in the forests, or along the river, or along the delta out here by the mountains.
Okay, somewhere in there, I assume.
Okay.
He would claim and then build a monastery or temple to start rebuilding his order.
Okay, so you build a temple on the coast, on the eastern Darthak. It's a little bit in the mountains, but you've got a path down to a small village on the coast there. And you begin to rebuild your order.
And offer a true home to the people of Bonsai.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What would you like to name your temple?
I'll come up with something.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Keenan, what would you like to do with your barony and your money?
I would like to. I'd like to establish like the barony and all the territory given to me by my friends to establish my barony. Is it claimed? Is there a space to be claimed in the woods?
Yes, in Eastern Skaraptika, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he would go in there and he would like establish his barony with all his lands and money.
Okay.
To create like his druid family. He some of the things that he did, and I spoke with the player about this, is that he would like to meet the people of Anzai, and maybe he looking for druids of their culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked with Jair a little bit about meeting Kaolin there.
Okay.
And we would have we could talk a little bit what's your druid like, and what could we do, and they would try together to. He would join. He said that he would like be interested in joining the family to at least like cultivate something, which is new agricultural techniques to help the people of Enzai to help them establish a better foothold, while helping me like develop these techniques. So I get to have this technique. He gets to help the Enzai, and we have like this relationship with each other.
Sure.
One thing that he would like to do, and he might even try to reach the shogunate because he knows that they are in a bad spot. He is going to actually try to find a political wife because he wants to have children and train them to be druids.
All right. Let's go ahead and roll a charisma check for that.
Would I be allowed to cast enhance ability on myself?
Sure.
Yay! I have a +0, so I did that. That's a 14.
All right. Yeah. You'll find a wife. Not very high up the chain in the shogunate's organization, but decently leveled, where there's a little bit of a connection there, and when you show up to parties, it's not like, who's this fucking guy?
Fucking Gaijin.
So,
She's probably very mild-mannered and she keeps me in check.
yeah. Definitely is making sure that you don't say anything stupid. So.
And besides that, the way that Keenan would try to make his family to like establishes what he does to other lands, like he would offer to teach people if they wanted, and they had the potential, and if people asked for the knowledge, he would give the knowledge willingly. He's trying to make himself very more liberal and less gatekeepy than the other druid families.
Okay. As you're doing this within the next 2 years. Oh, by the way, you can name your own wife if you'd like.
I got a character.
The Farlota family sues you.
Oh.
They bring a lawsuit before the Crown of Cruinthe over your actions regarding spilling their family secrets.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and make some rolls here.
Tell them to get fucked and continue to spread it for free.
Can they even do this when I have not a contract with that part of their family?
You have to repeat that. You were breaking up. What'd you say?
Can they do this when I never had signed contracts, or they have any proof that I was part of their family, or that I have any ties to them?
You're still breaking up, but I'm getting the gist of your question, which is, can they still do that even though there isn't any contracts or any sort of business relationship with the family? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, they can, because, like we've discussed before, magical ability is genetic. And so if they can prove that you are related to them, it can be a problem for you, legally speaking. So they take you to court over it.
Objection.
Is there any way that Adeline could help in that regard?
How would Adeline help in that regard?
Well, maybe, she also received a sum of money, so that could maybe help in the court.
Fee, like paying for arbiter's fees?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to use a little bit of money to also help with those. Maybe hire a really good lawyer.
Okay. Go ahead and you wouldn't be hiring a lawyer per se. You would be trying to help get other dukes, because you're going against a duchy. Other dukes on your side. The local dukes would be to where you're kind of establishing yourself are San Liger and Van Cressa. Or not San Liger, Karl Liger and Van Cressa. They're the closest. Corday is also relatively close, but the most powerful dukes nearby are Karl and Van Cressa. So you can pick one to kind of like spread some money around and be like, hey, I would be in your debt if you could help me with this legal matter, because you're just a baron, and it's going to be hard to convince the crown that, a duke's interests are less important than your own.
I would go with the Hillstar. Hillsfar?
Hillsfar is a part of the crown.
Oh, wasn't that one of the options? I heard the roster for and what's the other one?
No, Van Cressa is here.
Oh, okay.
And Karl is here.
Oh, okay. I would go with
Think he said Karl?
I think so. He's still breaking up a lot.
It's raining down in Brazil.
Okay. You still with me, Tao?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one did you say? Okay.
This guy.
That guy, Karl. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a d20 plus a d6.
Okay. Anything that I could use a spell or inspiration from the bard?
Not really in that matter. Adelaine's kind of forwarding some money to help you with this, because this is very expensive. You have to go to the capital. You have to, help pay Karl way for this as well, because they're not going to do it for free, because it kind of sticks their neck out against, another duke that they have good relations with. So it's, expensive. So with your combined resources, you'll be able to manage it. So go ahead and give me that roll. Rough.
Nothing I can reroll with?
Unfortunately, no. So the threshold to beat was a 5, because they also rolled a natural 1.
Oh! No, not even with my enhance ability that I could cast like by going to a bathroom and doing it.
Unfortunately, for legal proceedings, magical charms and such are not allowed for obvious reasons. So, go ahead.
So they're suing him over his druidic abilities, which is helping the people of Onsai. Can they speak on his behalf as well?
So
or perhaps benefits?
It's more on him giving out this family secrets, and that can be brought up, but it's just more proof that he's doing it. The whole argument of him being able to do this and not being in any trouble hinges on him being able to prove he's not related to the Farlodas. Which was a tough sell, because his father, I think, was an exiled son, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's really hard to prove, like, at this already. I rolled a natural 1 and I was like, he's gonna get this. Rolls a 3. I was like, oh man, this is just a bungling in the courtroom the whole time. Both sides are just like completely inept throughout these court proceedings. However, a document surfaces that proves Keenan's genetic connection to the Farloda family. You are censured and you are rendered responsible for the damages to the Farloda family in this respect. You are censored from spreading your skills and techniques. That is outside of the ones you learned from the Onsai. So you could use those to continue. But if you are caught using the Farlota techniques again, it will be even more legal trouble for you.
Okay, so yeah, he's gonna keep helping the Anzai.
Okay.
And you know what? He's going to try to make his new life goal to create a case to try to overrule this.
Okay.
One day, maybe.
One day, maybe. Yeah.
Look, an Acquisitions Incorporated campaign.
Wants to kind of like bring down the establishment's preconceived ideas of what kind of magic belongs to who, right?
Yep.
Okay. It's an unfortunate situation for Keenan, but he has made some victories on his own. They did not take his land, for example, so he manages to retain his land. That, enough legal maneuvering to keep that out of the conversation. It's just, he can use his abilities for himself and for his land, but he can't teach other people them.
What about my own family?
You could make an argument for that later in court. It would probably be like the next year you could do so. But that would probably be early war era.
He's going to try to use the war and how everything's gonna be a little bit like mumbled to do so, even if he has to, under the guise of adopting children, recruiting other people. Like he would he would adopt children, and then they're my family, and I would start teaching them Druidic. They would be my students, but they would also be my adopted children.
Hey, Batman.
Hey, Batman!
Oh, if somebody needs to teach them how to beat someone with a stick, normal will probably have gone by then, even if with one arm less.
Okay. Alright, so that's Keenan's 2 years building up a barony, helping the people of Onsai with his druidic abilities and teaching them, and then getting sued for it. Nearly into oblivion, but he's managed to retain his lands and managed to maintain an income and the rights to continue practicing it based on his heritage. However, is supposed to not teach anyone else, tries to Batman his way around that. Got it. Okay.
Hey, it's my family. They need to be able to take care of the land.
Yeah. All right.
Just one last thing, because you said still managed to keep my land. Do I still manage to keep my title?
Yes.
Nice.
That goes
Okay.
without saying. When you to be a landowner, you have to have a title. Okay. So moving on to Veracasa. Veracasa, what are you doing for the next 2 years?
So short term, Verica will escort Kara to wherever she needs to go.
Okay.
If that's the capital, then she'll take her all the way to Fortis.
That'll be Helcorth, which is the
Okay.
nearest military position.
Okay. I'm gonna guess in that time she's probably seen some things. But I would like her to be able to take her vacation, and she's gonna visit her parents.
Okay, takes vacation, visits spirits.
And while she was stationed at the small village before all of this started, she did have, hear through the grapevine that, her distant cousin just got some land. So she's going to see if she can visit Rianne.
Okay.
So where is Rianne's barony?
I believe Rianne's barony is next to Allegra's, and they're over here in the corner in this section.
Solid. So, Verica will have refused the barony, but she will visit her cousins, and build a cabin there once she negotiates with them appropriately and pays accordingly.
Okay.
And she still has some years in her, so having seen what she's seen, she probably would end up back in the front.
Okay, returns to the front line.
Mm-hmm. Do you need me to roll a D100?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're volunteering for first expeditionary, yeah.
Yay!
Okay.
81.
You do see some pretty harsh action in the south. You escape death. You escape maiming. You come out with some new scars. The war definitely isn't over, but for the next 2 years, you fight hard as a member of the first expeditionary, and you attain many honors doing so.
And then we'll go back to her cabin that she's built.
Okay. You do a 2-year stint and return to your cabin. Fulfill honors. All right. Well, I believe that's all of our characters for the epilogue. I will now officially say that you have met the mission objectives. When Chief Ansarak makes his way to Fordeath, he makes his way on the back of an Alisar who's recently been given the name Old One Eye.
Bruh.
Bullshit.
And they sign a treaty, and they more or less sort of come together. The Shadowclaw Confederacy becomes a sort of government that is recognized within the borders of Cruinthe as part of the Kingdom of Cruinthe. It is also somewhat independent, and they are allowed to be wherever they want to be. So, and that is, as far as Ansarak is concerned, a victory for his people, because it means that they will no longer be hunted. He does devote many warriors, and many Skaldi do sign up to fight. Many of them show up in the various military training centers and begin to make waves. And it is the beginning of an era for the Cruinthian military as Skaldi begin their training with humans to fight in combined units. So, congratulations, everyone. Everyone survived. That could have been really badly. That could have ended really badly if your persuasion checks had gone the other way completely. You would have been fighting all of them.
You said Lee twice.
No, I didn't. I said completely.
Hey.
Are you breaking? Am I breaking up?
Completely, Lee.
No, not for me.
Not for me.
I might have stuttered at a moment. All right.
I heard you say this could have been bad, Lee.
Yes, I accidentally said it. I got ahead of myself. All right, get off my fucking back.
No, I shall cry.
I was thinking it could have gone poorly and badly at the same time. And then my sentence got away from me. Get over it. Had your charisma checks gone poorly, you would have been fighting all of the Skaldi, and they would not have stopped.
I don't think we would have won that.
Yeah, no.
Dang.
I wouldn't survive in that round, so yeah.
Yeah. Hey, things went good considering. Everything went.
I want to thank everybody who came out today to watch. I know 1 p.m. US East is kind of an awkward time for some people, but thank you for being with us. Thank you for coming out and watching. I hope you all had a good time. Thanks to our players for playing. I know it's difficult being in a game with me as your DM. It can be terrifying and sometimes just aggravating, and it is what it is. I'm sorry. Thank you for playing.
You're the best.
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. And join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. US East for Heresy and Damnation. The end of this Prologue campaign unlocks the Skaldi race for the main campaigns. So congratulations, community, you did it. Without anything else to say, I'll say have a good rest of your day, and stay cool and be good to each other.